In this video, we will discuss the poem Enterprise by Nissim Ezekiel. We can interpret the poem on many levels. One of them is literal and the other is metaphorical. I will discuss both interpretations simultaneously. I will try to keep it as simple as possible. Some people start a pilgrimage with the poet. The poet doesn't tell us the destination, but he informs us that everyone in the group is quite excited about the journey. The prospect of attaining the destination makes their mind thrilled. They think after attaining the destination will make them happier and more peaceful than the present. When we are joyful, our burdens disappear. The same thing has happened to the group. They are so elevated that they don't think about whether or not they can complete the journey. When they reach the second stage, the scorching sun stands to enervate their bodies. The sun symbolizes the harshness of nature. The poet thinks though it is excruciatingly hot, it fails to decrease their morale. They keep continuing their steps forward. So the title Enterprise refers to starting the journey with a lofty goal. From one perspective, the enterprise might refer to man's eternal quest for meaning in life. We can also read the poem as a journey of Ezekiel's ancestors who are in search of a homeland. The expedition, like the pilgrimage, begin with enthusiasm and hope. They have not thought about whether or not they could complete the journey. For them, it's possible. On their way, they observe and note down extensively whatever they see on the road. They notice activities such as things the peasants sell and buy, and the movements of snakes and goats. They also take notes of three cities where a wise sage has imparted a great deal of knowledge to the people. In the middle of the journey, they distract themselves from their goal. The pilgrims involve themselves in unnecessary things. They take notes of three cities, but they don't contemplate the sage teachings. Till this point, everything seems good to the poet. But as they reach a desert, there arises a problem. They argue with each other over how to cross a desert patch. As a result, an intellectual member of the group, whose prose style is the best among them, leaves the group. We can interpret this as different ways of attaining grace. Each method is different from the other. Consequently, this causes a clash of opinions. We can also interpret the problems metaphorically. Ezekiel's ancestors encounter both physical and psychological difficulties on their journey. They confront problems while crossing rough terrains. The troubles also appear while interpreting scripture, which leads to different opinions. Soon doubt and uncertainty hover over them, and these keep growing. The rest of the group silently moves toward their destination. The excitement that we see at the initial stage begins to fade. After the first incident, a series of unfortunate incidents occur. Unfortunately, some others attack them twice, and they lost their way. Experiencing such misfortunes, some pilgrims think the leader has misled them. Their doubt turns into belief. They demand separation. After witnessing such unfortunate incidents, the poet is panicked and prays for peace. The group walks through the desert. After walking many miles, they have become exhausted. To cheer them up, the leader says that he has sensed the existence of the sea nearby, but they find nothing. They have become a wandering group with little hope. Unlike the first stage, their vigor is low, and they have lost the zeal to notice their surrounding area. They ignore the sound of thunder and its possible meaning. Thunder could mean inner self-suggestion. We can understand their misery from the line, deprive of common needs like soap. At that time, the hopes of some pilgrims become blurry, and they have lost their enthusiasm and spirit. On the other hand, others have momentarily lost their zeal. After witnessing a series of unfortunate incidents, they finally reach their destination. Instead of feeling exalted, they become unhappy. They don't know the reason for being there. The entire journey has made them dissatisfied with the result. The result has made them disillusioned. There's nothing profound in the end. After reaching the place, they realize their acts are neither significant nor rare. It's common. They understand home is where we have to gather grace. Instead of undergoing such unfortunate incidents, they could have stayed peacefully at home and sought grace there. Instead of seeking grace outside, we need to find it inside. To explore the physical world, which encompasses subjects such as physics, astronomy, etc., we need to move outside. But to understand life, we need to go inside. For that, we don't need to go anywhere. We only need a stable mind that can sit in one place, question on our own beliefs, and is ready to learn new things. If we continue the inner journey, we will find the Gyan Yog is the best approach. Gyan Yog means knowledge of the self. The day we understand ourselves, we will find grace, peace, and happiness within ourselves. So it starts with self-inquiry. We can also interpret home metaphorically. When his ancestors reached India, they discovered that their dream place is different from their imagination. Having reached India, they can't go back. Therefore, the newfound land, India, is where they have to find grace. We can understand this with the help of Ezekiel's poems. Most of his poems deal with one common theme, and that is relentless searching for a home or a longing for belongingness. You might have known that Ezekiel belongs to the Bene Israeli Jewish minority. Being a member of the minority, he has experienced alienation in India. This is why Ezekiel is always on a quest for a home. Though he has experienced isolation in India, he has decided to consider himself an Indian. For instance, he says in the third section of his autobiographical poem Background casually, "I have made my commitment now. This is one, to stay where I am, as others choose to give themselves in some remote and backward place. My backward place is where I am." The backward place in the poem is India, precisely Bombay. India is the place where his ancestors landed. He also says in Island, "I cannot leave the island. I was born here and belong." After losing and sacrificing many things, the poet is determined to find his home in Bombay. In this way, we can interpret the poem both literally and metaphorically. For the theme, visit the blog. The link is in the description below.